Why is everybody freaking out over Warner Brothers being bought by Netflix? Everybody's crying, physical media is gonna die, no more movies. But they really don't know the actual facts of what's going on and how Netflix can actually save physical media and movies as we know it. And I'm gonna pull behind the wizard's curtain today to show you guys all the secrets. So let's get into it. In today's physical media news topic video, we're going to get into the deep, dark, dirty secrets of Warner Brothers and the Netflix deal and why Warner Brothers being bought by Netflix actually could be a positive thing. So we're going to go over the pros because no other collector or creator is doing that. And of course, we will mention the cons and negatives as well. But then we're going to talk about the positive spin, how it's going to really impact the collecting community in a wonderful way. And we're going to talk about how it's going to help the future of collecting out there. So we're going to break it down all for you today. But first, you love collecting physical media just like me and want to be a part of the movement of saving Warner Brothers? Well, you got to let people know in the comments below. Why do you think Warner Brothers should or should not be bought by Netflix? Where would you like to see it go instead? We got to use our voices down below. That's our power. Of course, if you haven't already, mega smash the likes, the subscribes, the notification bell. That way you never miss another physical media news entertainment breakdown video. Of course, let's get into it. So now diving into the facts here, we got to talk about what's actually happening here because a lot of the collectors out there, news reporters, are not giving the 100% information on what is going on with this acquisition. And everybody's always acting like this is finalized. This is a done deal. It's going to happen no matter what. And that is completely not true. There's still a ton of hurdles for this deal to go through. You got to get government approval and other things like that. So this still may not happen at the end of the day. And everybody's having a meltdown. They're like, no, you're gonna take my physical media. I'm not gonna be able to watch any more movies. What's happening? Ah! Right? And they're panicking. They're panicking out there, but I don't think we should panic just yet. And also, let's just talk about some of the positives here. Let's say the deal does go through. There could be some positive aspects to this acquisition. So let's talk about it. Now, I know Netflix hasn't been that big on theatrical releases before, but they have put some of their banger titles out to the theaters, right? With their like Knives Out series and all of that. And they're doing Stranger Things final episode in theaters. So they've done some stuff theatrically, right? K-pop Demon Hunters had a couple releases there, right? Sing-alongs and all of that. So they have put stuff in theaters before. So to assume they're not going to have anything out there in theaters, I think is wild. I think we are going to get some big WB titles still to theaters. Now, will they be shorter, release windows where they may be out there only a week or a couple weeks? Probably. But I still think we might get some theatrical releases. So I wouldn't panic if you're a theater goer yet. Just make sure you see it opening weekend. Or if you're a limited pass, and you're still going to get that awesome cinema experience. As simple as that. So I don't think that's going to be as big of a deal as some people are making it out to be. Now let's talk about from the collecting standpoint, because we are collectors here. Are they still going to do physical media? Well, we know Netflix kind of came about because Blockbuster didn't want to buy them, and they were kind of fed up with that Blockbuster renting system. And then they started mailing DVDs home and all of that, and pretty much changing that whole industry. And now we no longer have Blockbuster physical media renters, and they just do everything streaming digital. So we know that story. We're not going to get into those details today. But is this going to be trouble for physical media out there? Are they still going to do physical media releases? Well, keep in mind, companies still make money off of physical media. That's why all these companies still do physical media. They still make millions and millions of dollars a year doing physical media releases. Do they want to leave that money on the table? Do they not want to do the releases? I think that would be foolish because they're still going to make some money off of it. They know people will buy their titles. Now, is there a possibility they say, hey, we're not going to do any of our Netflix stuff to physical media? Maybe that could be a possibility, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we will see some of their stuff, like even like Frankenstein. I could see that getting a release, right? I think that was even announced. So they had good movies, but I think these movies aren't going to just disappear. These creatives, these directors aren't going to just disappear. They love making movies. They'll go to another company, bring their ideas with them, and then give us even better physical media releases in the future. So to say that, hey, movies are going to die completely, the industry is going to be destroyed, there's not going to be any more creative quality movies movies anymore, I think is a way over exaggeration being done by way too many people right now, where it's like this could actually be a positive thing if you look at some of the good aspects here. So, yes, I think other companies could really fill in what might be missing by Warner Brothers and do even a better job in the long run. So now it's time for a massive rant, because you got to get the rant juices flowing when you got a big topic like this. And at first, I was just like everybody else, where I was pissed off. I was sick into my stomach when I heard Netflix was buying freaking Warner Brothers. I said, what the heck is happening here? Are movies going to die completely? Are we not going to get these great Warner Brother movies anymore? Like, am I not going to be able to see Weapons in theaters? Am I not going to be able to see Sinners in theaters? Am I not going to get a cool physical media 4K release of them? And then I thought back once again and I said, maybe people are over exaggerating here. Maybe these types of movies will go to other studios. And I felt a little bit more calmer about it. But let's just say, worst case scenario, that it does really hurt the movie industry, right? Of course, jobs are going to be lost. If they freaking tear down that studio lot, I'm going to be pissed off because that place is freaking magical. I just did my first tour there and I loved it. It was an incredible experience, just the Warner Brothers history and what they've contributed to cinema. I mean, oh my gosh, I don't want that stuff to disappear. So that stuff is definitely the negatives, the cons, 100%. And if they really push it to do no physical media, no theatrical releases at all, which I don't think so, because I've gotten Netflix movies to physical media before. Not all of the ones I wanted, but I have gotten some legit releases from them. And I have seen some Netflix movies in theaters, but if they completely just for some reason say with this deal, now they're eliminating it all, which I don't think they will. They gotta have these movies come out in theater for the award recognition. Now, the smaller films that they think maybe not as good quality, maybe those won't go to the theaters, maybe those won't get the releases, but then who cares? You're getting the bangers to theater, you're getting the bangers to physical media, and you're getting bangers in your collection, saving some space and not spending as much money, and you're getting all the best stuff, right? So actually, once again, it could be so good for collecting, but let's just say they eliminate it completely, and we can't pick up anything more or go to the theater even for these movies, and you can only get it if you're signed up for their streaming service, and then they charge freaking an arm and a leg like $50, $100 for their streaming service. Wow, that's going to suck. I agree. If it goes down that route, and I think that's worst case scenario, but we always got to be prepared for the worst, hope for the best. That would absolutely suck if they charge that much for Netflix. And of course, I'm going to cancel Netflix at that point. I'm just going to, pretty much live off my physical media. I've collected so many movies. I think I'm good and shows. I'm good off my physical media for a while. But yeah, I mean, that will just be unsustainable for a lot of people out there. I mean, the appeal to Netflix in the first place was it was pretty cheap. You get some decent shows out there like Stranger Things and whatnot. And yeah, it was like streaming background noise. So that's what the purpose of Netflix was for me, at least. But if they really try to change the whole system there and make you rely on just streaming, and then you're getting freaking bad quality stuff, it's buffering, it's freezing on you no matter what kind of internet speed you have, and it's just not good quality. And that's where you're suckered into watching these movies and shows permanently, the only option, then I agree with you all out there. It's going to be devastating. That's going to absolutely suck. And that's going to be terrible for movie watching, because I love going to the cinema. I love having a theater experience, especially when you get a good crowd in there. Like, I just saw Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the movie, I had a pretty cool theater experience where this is the most packed theater I've ever seen. Almost all the main seats were sold out. We had a good crowd in there, like cheering at certain points, just getting shocked at certain points. And I didn't even know why, because I, don't play the games or anything, but it's just fun being in that communal experience with all those fans of the games. And it was just exciting. It was really cool. And I don't want that to go away. I love the theatrical experience. I love the big screen. I love the great speakers. There's nothing better than that. And then, of course, if you can't get it in theaters, then you got to have it at home on a 4K or Blu-ray disc with your nice setup and just be in the movie. Because when you do a Netflix streaming movie, let's be real, it's more background noise. You're not really into it, especially those originals are not quality at all. Those original movies suck, guys. Okay, they just do. Like 9 out of 10 times they're pretty bad. Now the shows, they're better on the shows, I'll give them that, but the movies are freaking awful. Sometimes they're unwatchable, in my opinion. So we don't want cinema to go in that direction for sure. like I said, worst case scenario. So yeah, that would be a bummer if they completely axe all of physical media no matter what, axe all theatrical releases no matter what, which I think is unlikely. But if they do, yeah, that would suck. But then we would be still available to get, Disney and Universal stuff and things like that. So we wouldn't be completely dry on movies. There's still a couple companies out there, and the smaller ones, we got Lionsgate, we got A24. So we got some other companies out there that would still make movies. So now let's talk about the future. If this deal actually goes through, what is movie watching going to be like? Like I said, Netflix could be a nice player in the game and really support all forms of movie watching, whether it's streaming, some theatrical releases, some physical media releases. They could be the most well rounded one, and it would be a complete positive experience for everybody out there. I think everybody would be happy with that if they gave equal treatment to all their different kind of platforms of movie viewing experience. Now, probably that won't happen. So, what's going to get cut? Yeah, maybe physical media is the first to go, and that would be a bummer. But like I said, I think there's something that will always fill the vacuum. So if they get out of the physical media game and they get out of the creative, like theatrical release game, I think those creatives, those directors, those writers that love writing for the big screen and really care about, the cinematography scene on a big screen, right? You got those proponents of cinema out there like Nolan, uh, Denis Villeneuve, right? And all these people, Guillermo del Toro, right? Like they love theatrical experiences, they love cinema. I don't think they're just going to say, oh, we're just going to do stuff on Netflix now. I think they will keep going to these other companies, whether it's Universal, Disney, A24 now, Lionsgate, whatever it might be. So I think we're still going to get banging releases to theaters, whether it's for a super short time, whatever it might be. I think something will fill the vacuum there. And maybe they even change the rules where now, like, the studios can own their own theaters. I know that was a big rule for a long time. You couldn't do that, but maybe they even changed the rules there, and then you could have like a universal theater. Like that would be cool, something different. And then maybe they treat their customers better, and they have nice seats and better projectors and better screens, and they really put more money into the theater experience because they know, hey, if you're going to come out to the theater, you want a good premium experience. So maybe we get more premium Dolby screens and IMAX screens and really cool event like stuff where it's like, oh, I can't get that at streaming Netflix at home. I want that communal banging theater experience. I got to go out there. So maybe theaters improve because of that to be competitive in that kind of market. So maybe theater watching gets better for you and me. That could be something awesome. And maybe physical media collecting. Maybe the players that are still there, they say the same thing. Hey, people can get all this stuff on Netflix. Well, if we're going to do a physical media release, we better make it banging. And then they're quality packaging, quality disc. They get the special features in there because they know if you're going to buy this, instead of just streaming it, you're going to want something special. You're going to want that quality. So maybe it improves that area too with physical media releases. Like I said, there could be positives here. There could be improvements, the different areas to compete with this juggernaut Netflix at that point. I think so. I don't think everybody's just going to say, oh, we give up. Netflix won. We're done with movies all entirely and movies are dead. I just don't think that's going to happen. There's too much love behind movies. There's too much creativity to movies. People that have, worked their whole lives in the film industry. I don't think they're going to see it let go with just this one acquisition. I don't see that happening. And I know that's how a lot of people are acting right now. And I don't think that's going to happen. I'm more positive about it. I mean, we have to be, right? We love movies out there. So I think there could be some really cool things in the future for theater goers, for movie collectors. And if you are a streamer, maybe you do benefit a little bit from that. If you're just using Netflix, more power to you. Now you got to watch Game of Thrones and HBO stuff on Netflix too. Have fun with that. But I think everybody could benefit if all these different companies do the right thing and take the right steps and really focus on quality and giving consumers more value instead of pulling back on stuff. So what direction do they go in? That's the point here, guys. It could be awesome. It could be great. It could be positive for everybody, or it could completely suck. I mean, they could go down the wrong directions in every single way and really hurt, one of the areas, whether it's collecting or theatrical viewing or whatever it might be. So I think there are possibilities for greatness here. I think there's possibilities for devastation. I just wanted to give kind of a fair view of everything. Look at the pros, look at the cons, And that way you guys are prepared for whatever does happen in the future with movie watching, because I know you love movies, we love movies here. I mean, we got to support movies in whatever way possible. So if you want to be a part of saving movies out there, saving the Warner Brothers legacy, leave a comment down below. What do you love about Warner Brothers? What kind of deal do you think should happen? Do you think there could be some positives, or are you only seeing the negatives? Let's share those stories down below, respond to each other, hit the likes, hit the subscribes, hit the notification bells, because people do see this stuff out there. They see the interaction on the channels. They see basically what are people talking about? What do they want to see happen with physical media and movie watching going forward? We've got to hear your voice. Of course, hype up this video. Another way to do it, hype it up, hype it up. Let's get this information out to more people. Let's share this video to more people, right? And let's just have a good time supporting and watching and talking movies. And of course, you love this physical media topic. Go ahead and make a smash and watch another video all the way through right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.